My sister-in-law screamed at me to leave because she thinks I ruined her bachelorette party. My family was deeply affected by an MLM scheme. My mother became involved with a supplement selling MLM and became overly committed. She ended up using the money saved for mine and my brother's college education and incurred tens of thousands of dollars in debt in order to keep her status within the company. This situation wreaked havoc on our lives and my parents' marriage. When my father was injured and had to take some time off work, the house of cards she built came tumbling down. We went from a loving home with 2 parents, a nice house in the suburbs, and at least $20,000 in a college fund, to our parents divorcing because she refused to leave the MLM, having to live in a crappy basement in our grandparents' house, and facing the reality of taking student loans if we want to go to college, as well as having to work as young teens to help provide for our family of 3. So, suffice it to say, I hate MLMs with a passion. Now to the situation. My brother is marrying his fiancée of 4 years in 2 weeks. Last Saturday, I was invited to her bachelorette party. She said that she wanted a low-key night at her home, with some food, some drinks, and some fun games. I get there, and including her, there are 14 other women. 3 of them are my cousins, who are 19 and 18. After I arrived, I was the last one there because I live 3 hours away. One of the women stood up and said that the fun can now begin. Then, she dragged a chest of toys and started pitching us her MLM. From the get-go, she said that my sister-in-law agreed to host, and at the end of the night, depending on how much we got, she would get some money to help with her honeymoon. I was fuming. She knew how much both I and my brother hated MLMs, so I just stood to leave. Then I told my cousins to grab their bags and follow me. They tried to stop me, sister-in-law and MLM hun, but I just said that we had to leave. But then, I couldn't just leave the other women to be preyed on. So I went on a rant about MLMs, how scammy they are, how I bet after plying them with drinks, they will be pressured into buying stuff they didn't want, as well as joining this pyramid scheme. My sister-in-law was teary by then, screaming at me to just leave, and that I ruined her bachelorette party. I grabbed my cousins and left, and while I felt a bit bad about ruining her night, I did not feel bad about standing up to a scammer at all. My brother says that while he completely understands where I come from, and that he had a really big fight with her, I should have just left with my cousins, without ruining the night altogether.